Deborah, I have another tough case that you don't know anything about.
So I should sit back down.
Mr. Weller's sleeping through most of this, but we're going to wake him up here to do our hearing.
I wondered.
And it's got a lot of money involved and he's not real with it and he's late. And I'd ask if you would stay. I apologize.
Anything to make this
It's another
get
no
finished, right?
lunch Monday. Why don't you go ahead and turn it back on for you now? I would have considered even maybe bumping this, but the complainant is here and he's been waiting for a long time. So we'll address it.
Hey everyone. Today we're diving into an unforgettable courtroom moment with Judge Middleton, thanks to our subscriber Daryl and footage from Lone Wolf Uzel. If you've seen Middleton in action before, you know he doesn't mess around when it comes to accountability. Let's break down the case and see exactly how this one unfolded.
This is file 23738FY, People versus Timothy John Weller. Mr. Weller was charged with a felony computer crime. And as I mentioned, we're returning to the bad old days of multiple remands. This matter was bound over to the circuit court on a felony charge. A large amount of money was taken, $8,000, and it got remanded back to our court for a plea and sentencing. Well, I'm not sure I'm ready to do a plea and sentence, but I would be ready to do a plea. They're remanding these matters back for plea and sentence, but by the nature of the fact that they were a felony and came back as a misdemeanor, they're complicated. I don't know what happened. This case got bound over. There were several status conferences. It was going to be set for trial and it got remanded. And so the remand plea, Mr. Weller, would be to a misdemeanor charge of larceny over $200, but less than $1,000. The original charge was an allegation that you stole $8,000 from a Mr. Gregory White.
This right here is one of the reasons I really respect Judge Middleton. He knows that delaying a case like this only hurts the victim even more, especially someone who's already lost thousands to a thief like this. Instead of wasting time or making excuses, he steps up and keeps the process moving. That's what real judges do. They balance fairness with accountability. Middleton isn't here to comfort criminals. He's here to deliver justice to the people who deserve it. His focus is always on results, not theatrics, and that's what makes his courtroom so effective and respected.
That larceny charge is a just plain old grand larceny, punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $10,000. The computer part of it is a allegation that used a computer program, computer system, or computer network to steal more than 1,000 but less than 20,000. That's punishable by up to 7 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $5,000. You're also charged as a habitual felon as a fourth felony offense, making this punishable by up to life in prison. So the matter got bound over to circuit court. The can got kicked down the road a little ways, and then it got remanded back here for a plea to a misdemeanor charge of larceny more than $200, but less than $1,000. Mr. Weller, that's a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000 or 3 times the amount of the money taken. In this case, it's alleged to be $8,000. So the prosecutor, and let me confirm this, Ms. Davis, has offered to dismiss the felonies and the supplemental for a plea to larceny over $200. And I understand you inherited this, but thank you for being here.
Quickly looking through the notes, it appears that yes, Prosecutor Marvin had made that offer, larceny 200 to 1,000, and that the restitution was $8,000 joint and several. between Weller and Sproul.
Look at the situation here. The victim has already lost £8,000, hard-earned money that's gone, likely stolen from someone who worked tirelessly for it. Dragging the case out any longer only adds insult to injury. Judge Middleton knows this isn't about patience anymore. It's about giving the victim closure. He moves the case forward decisively, taking the plea and heading straight to sentencing, making sure justice is served without unnecessary delays.
She is set for sentencing later this month with Judge Pattison. All right, Mr. Weller, the allegation is that you're going to be ordered to pay $8,000 restitution, joint and several, with Heather Sproul, one of your co-defendants here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Could you take your hand away from me? Are you going to plead to that misdemeanor charge of larceny over 200 but less than 1,000?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bush, you confirm that's the plea
Yes,
offer?
it'll be more on an aiding and abetting factual basis, but we have previously discussed that. And this is not a spur of the moment decision today.
All right. Mr. Weller, do you understand that if you do plead to that charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury?
Yes, sir.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Mr. Bush is here with you. You can also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand yourself and testify on your own behalf, but you don't have to because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent if and until the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you somehow induce the complainant here, Mr. White, to give you $8,000?
No, sir.
Well, tell me what happened.
I was solicited by Miss Heather Sproul to go open an account in my name, and what she did, she stole Mr. Gregory White's phone and transferred the money from his phone into my account. Somehow she got a hold of my account information and transferred the money into my account.
Here's the real story. This guy, along with his partner, decided to steal $8,000 from the victim. That sum automatically made it a felony, which pushed the case up to circuit court. After some negotiation, though, it got reduced to a misdemeanor and sent straight back to Judge Middleton's courtroom. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Middleton and Prosecutor Deborah Davis don't let people off easy. They've seen countless cases like this, and they make absolutely sure accountability isn't watered down. Watching them work is satisfying. Justice served efficiently, no shortcuts, and zero sympathy for anyone trying to cheat the system.
All right, that was $8,000. All right, well, and then you took $4,000 of that dollars and blew it at the casino?
No, you did not. The only thing I got out of that was like $500.
Well, you must have known there was some nefarious purpose for you to just blankly open an account.
She told me that, Your Honor, not to cut you off, but she told me that she inherited the money from her uncle. So I went and opened the account, and she went and, like I said, stole Mr. White's phone and transferred it. That's how she got his information. That's
All
from
right,
that
but
phone.
then you withdrew $8,000 from the Omni
That's
Bank.
because I believed her that she inherited that money, Your Honor. If I had known that, like I told Mr. Gregory White, if I had known it was his money, I would never have done it in the first place.
Timothy stated Heather gave you $3,600 and she kept the rest.
No, that's not true.
Now that's what the police say.
He must have misunderstood what I was trying to tell him.
All right, well,
May I-
you
may
didn't
I
just,
inquire, Your Honor?
yes.
And Mr. We've talked about this, and in retrospect, you realized that it was kind of a hinky thing that
Yeah,
that money was there for just a couple hours and you were paid either their theory, multiple thousands or $500.
I still can't take responsibility for it, Your Honor. But
All right, so you knew this wasn't all on the up and up.
Right, Your Honor.
And he's open to his share of restitution. I suggest to the court that he wasn't as sophisticated as the other individual to put this together.
He's also not as dumb as he presents here. He knows more than,
I'm willing to pay him back whatever the court wants me to pay him back.
Hold on a minute. Are you really claiming you didn't give her your account info, yet she somehow transferred $8,000 into your account? And you didn't find that even a little suspicious? Come on, let's be real. Nobody's buying that story. Not me, not Judge Middleton, and definitely not Prosecutor Davis. You can practically see the disbelief on their faces as he speaks. They've heard countless excuses before, but this one isn't just far-fetched. It's downright insulting to the court's intelligence.
her name is Sproul. Let me see, because she's set for sentencing on a certain date. Let's see if we can line these up, save the complainant. Well, that can't be right. Set for sentencing on September 5th. So let's see how I look for September 5th at 10:30. It's next Tuesday. I can do it. All right, I'll accept your plea at 10:30. I'm not sure how we're gonna do this. Let's say it. Mr. Wilson?
Yes, Your Honor, if I please the court, I provided transportation for Mr. White because quite frankly, he has none. And I will not be able to do so during the month of September.
Well, I can, the other case is already set for September 5th. Mr. White, I can give you a bus pass to get here and back on September 5th. So I'll give you a round trip bus passes for that morning. But you're gonna need to be here for Ms. Sproul anyway. So here's 2 round trip bus passes for you to get here on September 5th. Courtesy of generous people that watch this channel.
What do you mean? Whatever the court orders you to pay back. If the court only demanded $1,000, you should still be taking steps to return the other $7,000 without being told. You stole $8,000. That's not something you can just shrug off. True remorse isn't waiting for instructions. It's actively making things right. When someone takes that much, paying it back isn't punishment. It's the bare minimum of accountability.
What time are?
I'm gonna set this for 11. The other one's at 10:30. Now, you called this morning, you were out of state or you had to be somewhere. How'd you get here today?
My cousin brought me all the way back.
All right, how'd you get here to the courthouse?
My cousin drove up here.
Where's he?
He took off. Yeah, I'm supposed to let him know how I'm supposed to get a hold of him because he has no phone now.
Hi, could you guys check and see if Mr. Weller drove here today? Yes, thanks. Bye. You've got a terrible driving record.
Yeah, they'll see me getting, you know, I have to cut you off again, but they'll see me getting out of a passenger seat of a maroon or burgundy colored Dodge
All right.
and passenger side.
Now, in the
It was in this parking
report,
lot out
you're
here.
talking about driving. The other thing I need to confirm, I don't know whether that interview was recorded. According to the affidavit of probable cause, she gave you $3,600, which you took to Firekeepers and lost, except for $23. Plus you were driving all over the place.
I learned my lesson
I
from that.
made
Your
a
Honor.
traffic stop bearing a Michigan temporary plate, made contact with Timothy Weller in the driver's seat. I don't know what I'd do to keep you from driving. So there's a dispute about how much money you took. You don't have 2 nickels to rub together. I'm not very encouraged about this man getting his $8,000 back. But you agree that the restitution will be 8,000 joint and several with Miss
I'm willing,
Sproul.
like I said, I'm willing to make this right with him. I mean, I feel bad about it, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make it right.
Judge Middleton steps up when the $8,000 victim struggles to get to court, arranging free bus passes so they can attend. This isn't just justice, it's compassion, by noting that the passes are funded by his YouTube viewers. He highlights that every view helps make moments like this possible. True law, true humanity.
And I do want to, I have not looked at this carefully, obviously, so in just going over the bank statement that I pulled up, there may be some withdrawal fees and that sort of thing. So
Okay.
I guess I would like to leave that restitution somewhat open. I mean, it's expected it's going to be around the $8,000, but there may be some fees. I want to get that cleared up so that the victim is made right. But I also have concerns about Mr. Weller's ability to be here himself on Tuesday. And if we have the victim coming back and the other co-defendant, I want to make sure that he is going to be here as well. So I guess I'll leave that to the court's discretion as far as that goes.
I'm willing to come back.
All right, yes. Your bond's canceled.
Let me guess. You think nickel slots will magically get it all back? That's not how this works. Gambling your way to redemption isn't a plan. It's just repeating the same mistake. Real responsibility, not blind luck, is what's expected here. The time for excuses is over. And even the judge's patience is starting to wear thin.
They'll bring you back. And we'll deal with it. That's next Tuesday, which is 8 days. Stealing $8,000 from this guy certainly develops at least 8 days. Plus you keep driving a damn car.
No, I think he's been in jail for upwards of 45 days in this case.
Yeah, he bonded out. I'm not sure how. And I set the bond at the amount that was stolen. I think it got reduced when it was remanded. And I don't like these remands, and there's not much I can do about it, but they come in, they're always difficult to deal with. Yes, your bond's canceled. You're no longer presumed to be not guilty. I will see you next Tuesday at 11 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What am I going to deal for?
Your bond's canceled.
Why is my bond being canceled?
By admitting to taking part in a scheme that defrauded someone out of $8,000, you've essentially waived your right to the presumption of innocence. Once you plead guilty, that protection disappears. You've crossed that line yourself. At this point, the court doesn't have to speculate or assume anything. The facts are clear, on record, and confirmed by your own words. Now, the focus isn't on guilt anymore. It's squarely on facing the consequences.
From this man.
Yeah.
Plus you showed up late and slept through most of the earlier proceedings. I'm not sure what's going on with you, but I hope you're in a better state of mind when I see you next Tuesday morning. All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So why am I being arrested for? I don't understand. I've almost got my pleas in.
Oh, it's too late for that. We can discuss
Why am I
that
being
next
arrested for, man? I ain't
You're
doing anything
being,
wrong,
you're not
man.
arrested. You pled guilty to stealing $8,000
No, I pled guilty.
and then canceled your bond.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Yes, I think so. One of us is. All right, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Alright everyone, that wraps up today's video. If you haven't noticed yet, I have zero patience for thieves, people who think they can take from others and escape consequences. Watching Judge Middleton handle cases like this reminds me why I respect his courtroom so much. He doesn't just enforce the law. He restores balance for the people who've been wronged. Moments like these show that justice isn't just a word, it's an action, and seeing it play out in real time is both satisfying and important.